This is a children's story about Pyro Pete
and he's the bad guy
and Melody, the rescue girl. She's the good girl. Once there was a man named Pyro Pete, and do you want to know what he liked?
fire.
That's right, he liked fires.
And he liked to burn down buildings.
He liked to see the flames, he liked to see the buildings burn down. Was that good?
No.
It was bad. Well, there was one girl in town who had a very keen sense of smell. She could smell smoke from miles away, and her name was
Melody the rescue girl. That's me.
That's right. And Melody would sit around in her backyard, and she'd sniff and sniff and sniff, and her dog Skylar and her other dog Race,
Other dog
Rebecca and Race and Skylar were the three rescue dogs. They would smell for smoke too. Sometimes they smell smoke from a campfire, but what would they do then? Would they run and try to put it out?
No.
That's because they would only smell for bad smoke. When they smelled bad smoke, the kind that was like from, what's bad smoke?
Buildings burning.
That's right. When buildings were burning, they would run. Well, one day, they all smelled smoke at the same time. And what did they do?
Run.
They would run to the fire. They would run so fast, they would get to their neighbor's house and see it starting to burn down. And you want to know who lit that house on fire?
Pyro Pete number 10.
That's right. Pyro Pete number 10 was the worst out of all the Pyro Petes. He was what they call a pyromaniac. He used to start fires and watch them burn. Well, this time when it started to burn, what do you suppose Melody, the rescue girl, and her dogs did?
Run to it and got it there and put it out.
That's right. They would go before the fire department got there even, and they would take the hose and they go squirt, 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 and they would put out the fire. Sometimes Skylar and Race and Rebecca would hold the hoses for Melody. How do they hold those hoses anyway?
With some teeth.
Their teeth, that's right. They put the hose in their mouth and they'd hold it steady while Melody would turn on the water and squirt it and put out the fire. And just as the fire would go out, who would show up?
A fireman.
A fireman would come, but usually Melody and her dogs would have the fire put out all the way. The fire truck would come, and the fire chief would say, "Hey, what happened to this fire over here? We heard there was a fire." And Melody would say,
I put it out with Skylar and Rebecca and Race.
And what happened to Pyro Pete when he was hiding in the bushes and in the trees, and he saw that the fire went out?
He was so mad.
That's right, because Pyro Pete wanted to see the whole house burn down, so he says, "I'm going to get that Melody. I'm going to try to find her and stop her from putting out the next fire."
But he never ran me.
But he never wins, because rescue girl Melody and her rescue dogs, Race and Skylar.
And we is so ticky to Pyro Pete. We is too ticky.
Yeah, Pyro Pete is tricky, but not as tricky as Melody, the rescue girl, and her rescue dogs.
The end.
The end.